Earlier today, I was on the internet to search for a picture to represent a girlfriend appliance because I was doing a post where a man expected this woman to go out, do the grocery shopping, pay for the groceries, and come home and cook, even though she was a visitor to his home. Some kind of way I landed on this article from Cosmo. This article came out on April 30th. I missed it. I don't read Cosmo, but this is a good one to talk about because I honestly, outside of being a stay-at-home mom, which I talk about the risk, talking about how women need to plan and have plans B, C, D, E, F, G, elemental P. I think, women need to do that. But one thing I think is even riskier. Stay-at-home girlfriends. Stay-at-home girlfriends have to be the most ridiculous amount of risk I can ever imagine. So this article from Cosmo is titled, "What Happens to the Stay-at-Home Girlfriend After a Breakup?" The quote that's used here, "I have no car, I have no job, I have no money." This seems absolutely wild, but let's get into the article. If you're on TikTok, you've probably seen them on your FYP wearing athleisure sets and chic neutrals while making the bed, or preparing coffee for their boyfriends and a Bloom nutrition drink for themselves. Maybe they're getting their nails done, showing you their skin routine, or going to Pilates, narrating their day while twinkly music plays in the background. A day in my life as a stay-at-home girlfriend. Search terms like stay-at-home girlfriend, 37.3 million views. Life as a stay-at-home girlfriend, 37.8 million views. Stay-at-home girlfriend, 36.2 million views. SAHG, 34 million views, are increasingly popular on TikTok. The trend has been featured in a recent piece in the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal, the latter of which attributed to a Gen Z move away from the mid-2000s girl boss hustle culture and towards the aspirations of a softer life. Some of the stay-at-home girlfriends describe their lifestyle in similar, seemingly progressive language. People used to ask me, "What's your dream job?" I never knew the answer. I realized it because I don't dream of labor. I dream of living a soft, feminine life and being a hot housewife. It's as simple as that, says influencer Kendall K at Kendall K in a video with 1.6 million views from September 2023. Here was the video that went viral. I kind of remember this video. But as some of the comments on the TikToks vocally point out, the life of a stay-at-home girlfriend is risky to say the least. "It's all well and good until he breaks up with you," wrote one. "Enter the side of the stay-at-home girlfriend TikTok you don't see. The post-breakup videos warning you of the financial and emotional risk that come with this lifestyle. They might not be as sparkly or aspirational, which might explain why they don't have as many views, but they're just as real and important. And if you're going to surrender financial independence to become a stay-at-home girlfriend, you should go into it with clarity about what could happen if these relationships end." One of the most popular stay-at-home girlfriend breakup videos comes from a beauty and lifestyle influencer, Bella Greenlee. She's Zizzle Sizzle. Coming as somebody who has been a stay-at-home girlfriend for 3 years, it's not the life you want. Greenlee says in a video, "If he's paying for your whole life and if you don't have income at all, there will start to be resentment. I'm just glad that I was young, I didn't have any kids, I was not married, and I was able to start my life before I wasted more years just staying in the house." And here's Miss Zizzle Sizzle, or Bella, talking about the person who has the power to feed you, has the power to starve you. That's definitely a proverb or a saying that holds true no matter who is doing who's having the power or doing the puppet strings. That is absolutely true. And one of the reasons why I talk so much about financial independence and making sure that you have plans B, C, D, E, F, G, elemental P, all of the plans. Greenlee says that becoming a stay-at-home girlfriend was something that slowly happened. She and her ex started dating in the early days of COVID and when she was unemployed. As their relationship got more serious, she became financially dependent on him. To her followers, everything looked rosy. I would post my day in the life videos, so it would be cleaning or making breakfast. Greenlee says, "Everybody was thinking I was living this really peaceful, happy life. But in reality," she says, "I would clean the house more than I had to just to keep myself entertained. I didn't really have a lot to do, so I was kind of going crazy. The fact that she was relying on her then boyfriend financially meant that, as she says, I kind of felt like I had to walk on eggshells because I knew that he had the power to take away my whole life if he wanted to. I felt like I didn't have a voice in the relationship. The situation really sunk in when Greenlee discovered her ex was cheating. It was really hard for me to be like, oh, I'm going to leave like a regular woman would because he was funding my whole life. So I couldn't just leave like that, she says. I really had to make a game plan for myself. After the breakup, Greenlee moved in with her dad and focused on making her own money. At first, she supplemented her influencer income with money she made babysitting. Now she's a full-time content creator. She's also in a new relationship, and this time she's determined to maintain her financial independence. Now, remember, this man said, don't buy cars, don't buy properties. You're like a man if you're able to live on your own, because they do want the power to control you. They want you walking on eggshells all the time. They don't want you to be able to get up and walk away if someone is cheating or not treating you well or being financially abusive. And there was another man on these here internets talking about women who own their own house and car are not attractive to men. It's because some of these men really want dependent women so that they can do all of the controlling and call all of the shots. But Zizzle Sizzle says she's determined to keep her financial independence. Good for her. She says, I'm going to be very strict on not moving in with anybody until I'm engaged or something, and I definitely have to have my own career. I make it known to whoever I'm talking to that I'm always going to make my own money, she says. I'm never going to 100% rely on that person. Now, this next woman, Ari Lou, says, I am absolutely left with nothing. All right, it says, Ari Lou has also been documenting her experience of reinventing her life on TikTok. As she puts it on her podcast, Delusional Daydreams. I have no car, I have no job, I have no money, because to be quite honest, for the past 3.5 years, I've been a stay-at-home girlfriend. I was put in this position to stay at home, be taken care of, and really be the support system for my partner. And by doing so, I gave away everything I had, and now I am left with absolutely nothing. When Lou first began dating her ex, she explored a variety of self-employment career paths, none of which ended up working out. Her then partner was making enough to support them both. He just bought a condo, Lou moved in. That's kind of how it started. She tells me on Zoom, he was really supportive throughout my whole journey, just like I was supportive in helping him advance in his career. The only difference is I wasn't making any money. This is an amazingly dangerous position for women to be in. It's already bad enough when women come out of the workforce because they have to take time off for work or they choose to take time off to be a stay-at-home wife. But when you're a stay-at-home girlfriend, you get absolutely no protections. And you're doing all of this with nothing. There's not going to be any investment on the back end. You're staying to help him, and you're supporting his career. So the house is clean. Cool. He doesn't have to do any of that. He doesn't have to do his admin work. He doesn't have to do the grocery shopping. He doesn't have to do any of this. And that can clear his mind so he can go to work and, go up in the ranks while you are doing absolutely nothing to pour into yourself and your future. This is stunningly opposite of smart. If anybody is talking to any teenage girls, any 8-year-old girls, please tell them that this is absolutely the most terrible way to set themselves up. We have got to be honest how we handle things financially, physically. All of these things need to be in alignment in how we create our well-being for our future. And this is honestly this is just completely opposite of smart. And I'll end with this part. Money becomes used as a tool to dominate you. And then this part talks about how money is used to dominate you. Talking about is because there's a lack of power that stay-at-home girlfriends have, and they're at risk for financial abuse. When you don't have any say in where the money goes in the household, and there's an emphasis on you not working, that is extremely dangerous. Suddenly, you may not have permission to go buy what you want. You may have to start asking for everything. Money becomes used as a tool to dominate you, and you don't want that to happen. You want freedom. Having someone being able to control you is not freedom. independence is freedom. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about this. I came across this accidentally. But just like the trappings of becoming a stay-at-home mom, this needs to be discussed. So join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.